You know, we've got a lot of background noise there. Remember, I like to keep the mics open for everybody so you can ask the questions. But if you've got background noise, please do *6 to mute yourself out. If I have to mute you out, you won't always be able to get back in. You're supposed to be able to get back in, but pre-conferencing doesn't always get it right. So it'd be better to mute yourself.
Since Patrick isn't here, can I ask you a question, Tom?
Yeah.
If you know of any person that has gotten out of the system recently or in the past, do you know if it's documented on the Internet?
No, I don't know that. I've heard people say that Boris says he's out, and there are other people say that he is not. For the most part, people who say that they're out end up not being out.
Did Winston Shrout ever get out?
No, he never even tried his paperwork.
Okay.
He got people to pay for paperwork, but he never even tried it himself.
Okay. Then we know of no one actually that has gotten out. Is Patrick out?
I will be out very damn shortly, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Patrick.
You listen to what I say, and basically you will get out, okay? But you have to believe, okay? You just went through the Christmas season. Basically, all the Hallmark movies out here have been trying to get a point across to people that you have to believe, and if you don't believe, you will never get out of the system. You have to believe that the law will take precedence when you understand the law. And that's the problem. You people don't understand the law. You've never taken the time to really sit down and study the law. You go and listen to all these other talk shoe nitwits out here that sit there and keep reiterating the same goddamn bullshit over and over again. I've been trying to make this thing to where this group that I've been trying to work with, a working group.
Right.
But there's very few people here that really want to work in this damn process. I've asked on the calls for you people to ask questions. You're too scared shitless to ask me a damn question because you think I'm going to bite your goddamn head off. Well, the only reason I get pissed off is because you won't ask the questions. And basically, I've told you over and over again that you were supposed to read the Bible as a little child. I'm sorry if I offend you people out here, but basically, you need to have a damn 2x4 between your eyes. And I mean, should be a 4x4 for most of you, because you want everything handed to you. I've told you, you need to go to the dictionaries to understand the words. You need to read these things as a little child and ask the question. If you don't ask the question, you'll never get the answer. You go into court, you ask the question. You don't let them tell you what to do. You question them. Where is your authority? I want to know where you have the authority over me. You're supposed to be a public servant. Why are you telling me what the fuck to do? What gives you that right? I want to see it in written. I don't want to believe this bullshit out here. Where does it say that basically the mob can basically tell me what the shit to do? A religious group, a Republican or a Democrat religion group can tell me what to do. You guys sit around and complain about the Roman Catholic Church or this church or that church, and basically the damn Democrats and the Republicans are the same goddamn thing. Don't ask stupid questions like, well, basically, is anybody out? Is anybody out? Is anybody out? How much money have I got? How much money have I got? You've got access to the whole American Treasury. You don't need to worry about how much there is. And it's not money. It's basically assets. You're supposed to be a borrower, not a banker. The bankers are the devil. The dead vessels. Using debt money.
Yep.
I've gone over this and over this with you people. I've tried to explain that a lot of this stuff is in the movies. The Prince and the Pauper, put out by Mark Twain. And how many times has that movie been remade? Even Shirley Temple was in several of them as in the sort of a Prince and the Pauper scenario. Until you sit down and really start studying this stuff, and I put up, I don't know how many different items up here, but we know that the prosecuting attorneys, they do not have a lawful claim in that courtroom.
Right. That's right.
Because they're representing the state. And the state set up a driver's license or whatever, a certificate of title to your vehicle, basically as a trust, a constructive charitable trust. They were supposed to be the trustees in the process to give us the assurances and process the assurances for us, but they didn't like that deal. They could have got paid as a trustee, but they didn't like that. They set themselves up. They abandoned the trustee position and went over and became a beneficial owner, a fraudulent fiduciary beneficial owner, so that they could turn around and use our assets fraudulently. Fraud will give no advantage. In other words, if a fraud is committed, you cannot profit from the fraud. When we come in and establish that they are committing this fraud and we have to be able to prove it, then they are not going to be paid. They're out of the picture. They lose out because we can turn around and now we're sitting here as two persons, and how many people does it take to charge treason? 2.
Right.
They've established you basically by your birthing and by your Christianing, okay, with an T-E-N, not a T-I-A-N. You are not a Christian, you were Christianed, okay? That's what the Roman law is all about. In fact, that goes even back further than Rome. I know it was in the Greek time because Achilles basically was dunked in the River Seine. He was baptized. And see, that was way before Jesus ever came on the scene. So Christianing, basically, and that goes way, way back, even before the Babylonian, before the Egyptian time, that they Christian all vessels on the seas. So, by the Christianing, you were given your name and you were given your vessel as your property. Not somebody else's, not the corporations. The corporations can't own anything. I'm going to tell Tom to mute everybody out because I don't want any questions from you people anymore. You never ask the right questions anyway. I'll tell you, and then you basically think whether you want to follow me or not. But I'll be out of the system because I know what the shit I'm talking about. I even ran into my sheriff in the damn Dollar General store today and basically laid some of this shit onto him, and basically he was taken back, and he said, I got to check into that. The 14th Amendment, Section 3. I said, these guys, these courts are not lawful courts. They're operating under English statutory law. They're bankruptcy courts, all of these state courts. I said I could take every one of them down now. He knew that I'd been getting close on this whole damn deal. He will listen to me.
Good.
Because I do not shut my goddamn mouth. I don't weasel around in the damn process. I stood these guys down in court. I stood down the U.S. Marshals. I stood down the U.S. Inspector General, Postal Inspector General, even the Secret Service. I told them that damn car they were driving belonged to me. And they couldn't rebut it. Because I'm one of the people of the country. All the stuff they're driving really belongs to the people. I'm not afraid to say this shit. The whole thing is about these trusts is they set up constructive charitable trust. And then they claimed that they were going to be the trustee, but they abandoned the trustee position, leaving us high and dry, and then they tried to claim that we're the trustee when we're supposed to be the beneficiary. We're the grantor, and we basically set it up that we are the living grantor. I am Patrick of the Family Divine as the grantor. My right-hand person, Patrick Divine, is the beneficiary. They turned around and set up an executor account in the name of Patrick Divine, all capital, with a number. It's a executor account number and name. It's a banking slave. The trustee was the one who was supposed to have access to that account because the beneficiary was not supposed to have access to the account. The trustee was supposed to be there to draw the funds out and give them over to the beneficiary when needed. But they abandoned their position and they went over and became a beneficial trustee, beneficial owner, so that they could turn around and use the assets as collateral in their bond and make a profit off of it in violation of what the original intent of this trust was all about. It's all done in fraud. But you have to be able, if you claim fraud, you have to be able to prove fraud. And that's where most people fall down. They don't want to take the time to find out where the fraud is at. We will be doing a notice of motion for a trust in interventum, INVITUM, and you can find that in the dictionary in Ballantyne's. And basically, that's when a trust is no longer valid. You can come in as basically the beneficiary or the grantor and order up this trust interventum to take the place of this fraudulently used trust. You can either do that with the public defender in a court action because you make him the public trustee. You short circuit that damn prosecuting attorney in there, and you make him stand down because he has dirty hands now because he's working for the damn beneficial owner who has dirty hands. They're not going to get paid anything. They've already been paid. They've used our assets. They're trying to double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip, you name it. They're trying to cause us harm and damage, and that is a treasonous act. That is in violation of the 14th Amendment, Section 3. They are the enemies of the state, of the United States of America, and the people of America. You had to ask the question, why? Why are there females on the damn judicial court system here? What's going on? How can a woman be standing as a judge over a man?
Good question.
Yeah, why didn't you ask that question before? I've said this all along.
Well, what is
that is outright. Patrick? They wouldn't even bring a female into a court with me anymore after I made that statement. They had a male judge in there. The last two times I was into the local county court on traffic tickets. And then they wouldn't even come after me for over 2 years when I wouldn't pay the damn traffic tickets. The Attorney General's office wouldn't come after me for property or for income taxes when I kept sending the damn things back to them and told them, and I met with one of their brokers out in the lobby there a couple of times, and I said, hey, when I get paid, I will more than be happy to pay you. But see, I didn't know how damn close I was in the process. If more people started standing up instead of being wishy-washy and chicken shits, we probably would have gotten this understanding a lot quicker. That when 1 or 2 or 3 people are the only ones that are out here trying to do this shit, basically it takes a little time to get it all pulled together. And then a lot of you people want to sit around and think that basically some other group is going to settle everything for you. Hell, look at the damn Bible. Did Moses do it all for the Hebrews? No. He had to do it for himself first. Then the Hebrew people had to do it individually for themselves by marking over their doors. Moses didn't do it all for them. Daniel didn't do it for everybody either. The people have to do this individually. That's the game. This is reiterated over and over and over again. But so many people out here are wanting to listen to these damn nitwits on YouTube and basically on the talk show and everything else, and they keep going over the same shit over and over again. And they never get anywhere. And people never ask the question, why? You've read all the shit on the defense side. How about reading the stuff on the prosecuting side? The answer just might be over there on the other side of the aisle of why these people aren't getting anything done. Stop supporting some of these damn nitwits out here thinking that they're damn patriots. They're idiots. Because an idiot is one who keeps doing the same thing over and over again. We have to basically resign or do a revoking or disavowing of being the beneficiary of these fraudulent trusts. That is what is called out for in the Expatriation Act of 1868. Now, when there is no beneficiary in the trust has to be liquidated. We gave our letters of credit as the grantor to them to pay the bills. But they did not want to take and pay the bill. They wanted to hold it and make an additional profit off of it and then cause us harm and make us pay more. That's why you have all these damn bar attorneys and everything else operating under English statutory law in this process, because they brought in the old East India Company back into America as the copyrighted 1871 United States Corporation. They are the ones that are bankrupt, the corporations, not we the people. But everything has to be done in bankruptcy out here, and we have to basically take this into bankruptcy as a charge against them. They're the bankrupts. We are the true creditors. They are not the creditors. The only way that they would ever be a creditor is if we were out of the system and we bought something, then they would be the creditor until we handed over the payment to them, the settlement. But normally we're still the creditor because they're holding our item that we want. So they're the debtor. They owe it to us as soon as we make the payment to them. So we're standing in the creditor's position in all cases. problem is people don't know who they really are. And then they get you into being falsely identified in the process. And basically, they slander your title. And that's what I tried to explain to you, that basically you get their license number, their bar license number, or their cop license number, their last 4 digits of their Social Security number. You ask them for it. You get their employer's identification number. You ask them for it. If they don't give it to you, basically you will get it down the road. But you have to get out of the system first, and when you turn and do these manumissions of your trust foreign executor account persons, your slaves, and turn them over to the U.S. trustee in a non-revocable deed of trust for that foreign executor account, he now becomes a trustee restricted ward. In other words, when we turn them over to the trustee, they are restricted. Therefore, the beneficial owners can no longer utilize those assets. They will be frozen. We've been close on all this stuff. And it would have been nice if there would have been a little more help out here in bringing this stuff forward. UCC 5108. When we basically get this into the court and get this into the U.S. trustee, he now will have 5 days for UCC 5108, 5 banking days, to get relief over to us. It used to be 3, but basically they have extended it into 5 banking days. And like I said on the last couple of calls, the UCC is nothing more than a universal charitable trust bankruptcy set of laws. And they have been causing us harm and damage and depriving the original grantor of our benefits of just credit debt settlements in a timely manner. We gave a signature of release. Like when I left the hospital, I released the credits to them. They put the credits into a guarantor's account. But there's no trustee there to process them. Because they abandoned that trustee position and went and became a beneficial owner in a fraudulent manner. They are operating under breaches of trust and the laws of lawful trust operations. And then in the process, as the beneficial owners, they put blockades out there against our accessing those assets in the account and settling the bills, because they didn't want the bills settled. When you understand this, now you can control the judges and everything else. I will have the templates up there in the next couple days for the B-20, for the letter to the bankruptcy trustee, and basically the latest. I think I've already got it up there for the latest one for the SSN account, but I made a couple changes, so I'll put another one up there as a Rev 6. But I'm not going to take any questions tonight because you guys haven't looked at them. So you can't ask a valid question.
I got a question.
No, you don't.
It's an easy
Because I'm not taking it, okay? I told Tom to mute everybody. I'm not taking any questions tonight. You don't deserve a question. You haven't given me respect at all. I'm sorry that that's the way it's got to be. But that's also brought out in some of the Hallmark movies there. That until you show respect, basically, I don't have to give you anything. I've given you so much stuff out here previously in trying to tell you where to go to look for some of this stuff and basically to work as a group out here. I've talked my head off trying to help you people. So, basically, there's going to be a short call. Basically, I went over quite a bit of stuff here. Sit down and listen to this. That trust in interventum is a big item. The trustee will become the American liquidator of these revocable public foreign trust, charitable, constructive charitable trust that are foreign banking, constructive charitable trust. All these state items, the state driver's license, the state marriage license, the state hunting license, anything out there, basically they made a charitable trust out of it. You gave a signature. You gave a letter of credit signature. So many credits went into that trust. Just like the credit card. You gave them so many credits, but they're sitting with them in an off-budget account. They were supposed to be the trustee, but they turned around. To settle these matters. Everything that you have out here has been done as a trust, but it was done in fraud because they wanted your credits, but they did not want you to pay the bill right now. And then they wanted to deprive you so that they controlled you and deprived you and tried to get you to pay a second time or a third time in the process. and then to steal your property from you again. You're the ones that have to stand up and say enough is enough. And why is enough enough? Here, I can prove why it's not enough is too much. You are thieves. And I will take you and send you to prison if that's what it takes. These judges, these county prosecutors are really scared shitless of us when it comes down to it. When you start waking up, they will run for cover. Most all the people up there on the state capitol in Washington, D.C. will abandon their damn position because they don't want to be held accountable because they can go to jail. I sent an email. I got 2 emails from this outfit down in Florida about term limits. I sent an email down to them and said, hey, it's already in the Constitution. What the hell do you want to try and pass a new law to set up term limits? It's already there. It's in the state Constitution. It's in the national Constitution or in the American Constitution. Not the national. There is no national Constitution. That's why basically this corporate United States national system, you don't know what the hell their laws are because they don't have anything written down. They don't have a constitution. They don't have a charter. Where is it? Where is the contract? Where is this trust contract? You never asked the question, where's the marriage contract? I want to see this charitable trust contract. I want to see what the obligations of the state are in this marriage license. You say the state has a right to come in and claim my children? Where does it say that? Where is the trust contract that says the state is a party and has a right of claim over the product of this marriage? I want to see the contract. They don't have one. It's all constructed. It's all imaginary. You burst their bubble and basically they go away. Just like the liquidation of the evil witch in The Wizard of Oz. Oh, you liquidated her. Well, basically, that's what you do to that court. You liquidate it. Because it's a fraud. But you have to be able to prove fraud. And you have to know all this stuff about these trusts. You have to know the different positions of out here of that they have abandoned the trustee position. Therefore, you don't have a lawful trust. So therefore, you establish a new trust, a trust in interventum, and liquidate it. The account will be frozen, anything that is sitting there that is associated with that, and they will not get a benefit from all the bonds and everything that basically have been written against that. They have been the unjust beneficiaries of those, and they'll start having to pay out of their back pockets. The real law enforcement out here has been waiting for the people to wake up so that they could come in and do their lawful job. But they can't do it until the people come forward with the right understanding to make the charges stick. And you have to get rid of all of your foreign beneficiary positions. Your right-hand person will be the lawful beneficiary of this trust in interventum. You as the living, birthed and Christian guarantor, trustor, also have a lawful claim in the process. And you can basically bring treason charges against any of these outfits out here, judges, prosecuting attorneys, you name it, credit card companies, anybody that has caused you harm. But you have to do it through a bankruptcy court action. By putting a claim as a creditor against them, against their bond of office. Okay, I'm done for now, so basically you guys can go ahead and talk after I get off the call here. Whatever you want to do. We'll see if I catch you Wednesday night.
Okay. Thank you,
Take care. Good night.
Thanks, Pat.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hadn't heard Patrick talk in a long time. That's characteristic vintage Patrick Devine.
Yeah, but we need to get you signed up. We'll work on that right after the call.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything? The new definition talk about that trust in vitrum. It's not interventum, in vitrum. It's the last definition that he has on that constructive trust definition file.
Now, Tom, is that the same as collapsing the trust? Is it?
I think it is. I think there's. I'd have to look at the term, but what we're asking the trustees is to remove the beneficiaries, which leaves the trust incomplete, and we're liquidating it and setting up trust in vitrum.
That sounds like that would collapse the trust if there is no.
That effectively does collapse the trust. I don't know if there's a technical difference in the meanings of the words, but it effectively does do that. Yes.
Theoretically, what happens to the trust estate and the assets if that happens?
It will be put into our own account in the Treasury.
Okay, I thought so.
All right.
Yeah,
okay.
and I think the mechanics of that is that they can't claim beneficiary status. Nobody can.
Right. We remove the beneficiary status.
Right. But they're acting as beneficial owner, and then once you give it up like that, they can't come in and say they're the beneficiary. So it has to go to you.
We're actually removing them.
Right.
If you look at the manumission form, we're actually ordering the trustee to remove them.
Yes.
Because they have
that's that motion interventum.
it's trust in vitum.
Indicum.
In vitum.
In vitum. Okay, trust
Yes.
in vitum.
Yes,
And that's
trust
removing the beneficiary.
Yeah, trust in vitum.
Trust in vitum. Okay.
Yes.
And so when the judges sit on the bench on any case whatsoever, they are acting as qualified heirs or the beneficiaries.
Yeah, yes, that
To the
everybody's actually a beneficiary.
Yeah.
And they're trying to assign us the trustee position.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, they've assigned us the executor position, which is effectively a trustee.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
So
good.
I've been really working on the manumission documents. I myself have taken the manumission documents and broken up the sentences a little bit, just under the theory that if it's not written at the third grade level, the judges probably can't read it.
Yeah.
Now, I thought that Patrick told us to stay away from executor. I noticed that on the
And that's exactly what we're doing. We're staying away from executor because they assigned an executor, and we're turning them over to the trustee to remove.
Okay, and that's the manumission.
That's the manumission document. Yes.
Okay, now a woman mission. At the top, I guess I would put W-1 instead of the.
No, that's a clever play on words, but manumission actually means to send forth by hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so leave it at manumission. Don't say woman mission.
No, that's just a little bit of our poetic license.
Yeah, all you should have to say is manumission and nothing
Right.
else.
Okay.
Okay? And the verb is actually manumit, to send by hand. You let go of them. You loosen your grip on them.
So not manumission, it's manumit.
Well, either you give them manumission or you manumit the person. Now, manumission is a much more common word than the verb manumit.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Very good.
Good.
Okay, so we all need to get these documents and thoroughly look at them. I had a question because when I looked at he has the manumission for the U.S. attorney and also the U.S. trustee. But when you look at them closely, they're really the same thing. He's had a little bit of revisions, and I want to look at it more closely. But that would be the question I would have asked tonight: is are they really the same thing? And I think they are, and it looks like he's going to add some more distinction to it. And in fact, what he said today is that he is sending the same manumission to the U.S. trustee and attorney, which makes sense because they have to have the same thing if they're going to settle it. They can't settle two different pieces of paper.
So Thomas, this is defined under trust law. Or what
no, basically we're not using trust law because it's all constructive fraudulent trust, and we're getting rid of it.
Constructive, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So it wouldn't even be statutory. It would just be maybe common law or something like that.
Yeah, we're just using the basic legal definitions.
Okay.
And as he said, we're actually using English law to do it.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
See you all.
Right.
All right.